Welcome to the Call Her Sam podcast. My name is Sam. Today I'll be talking to Lillian Chipeso. She is a Zambian award-winning journalist and published author of The Effects of Divorce on Children and the Power of Self-Embrace. She is passionate about encouraging young people to realize their full potential and understand the power of being a confident person. So the person is here. Full confident person. I'm looking at, I love your outfit. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Your hair is hairy.
It's hairy, skinny. Thank you for having me. You are the warmest person and loving person. For real. It's like, you know how you feel when you're talking to like friends, best friends. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through. Award-winning journalist, author.
Yeah.
I picked up on the author because I love reading. I grew up reading thousands of books. My brother was always like, "Why are you always reading?" I'm like, "Cause I love reading." I felt like books would just transport me to another world, and I love reading. So now I read your book, both of them, The Power of Self-Embrace and The Effects of Divorce on Children. The first one got me because both of them got me, but obviously the first one, I read the first one, The Power of Self-Embrace. And there's a chapter where you say you were at school, you got to a new school, and now you're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And you're trying so hard to fit in and will do anything.
Yeah.
The other,
to be part of the elite.
Is it the girls?
Yeah, the
elite
girls.
The rich girls.
Yeah.
Would tell you to do so. If they send you, go buy a
Go buy. I'll be like, as long as I'm part of the group, like send me. You want me to go to soccer and send me.
Send me.
Yeah.
I will do it.
I would do it.
But how did that? Looking back, and now that girl. How do you feel now looking back and you're like, what in the world
was I thinking? Well,
at that time you just wanted to fit in.
At that time I really badly wanted to fit in because if you go back to my books, you find that I had to switch schools every now and then. Like I was never in one place.
Yes.
So when I got to, and I think that happened mostly when I got to Kitwe in grade 10. And
which school?
Ndeke Secondary.
Okay.
And I just wanted, like, there were these girls, they came from rich families, and I was like, I belong there. And I look back now and I'm like, girl, a beat, just like a beat.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I look back now and the girls have turned out to be
not so elite.
Not so elite anymore. So I'm just like, what was I thinking? But I think that's a part of learning, so that I can tell a girl, a lady, a youth to say, you are so perfect the way you are.
Yes.
You better not try to be Lillian or Sam. Be you.
Just be you.
Yeah, and the right people will accept you for you. So
yes. So 15 years old, you're not coming from money, and you're around people that are from money. What's that like for you?
Firstly, it's a sense of, why was I not born in such families? Like, why was I allowed to go through everything that I went through,
Yes.
Like, my friends can literally have everything
that they want.
and I have to, like, ask and not even get it, what I'm saying?
That feeling.
And it was a lot. And I think because of the sense of wanting to belong is what's like, well, at the time it seemed like the right thing to do. There are girls, and I found myself trying to live a life that was not true. So then I even had moments when like people are like, "Can we visit?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not around," because like
you don't want them to see where you come from.
Where I'm coming from. So I'm like, no. And then I go to their places, to their houses, the cars are parked outside, and you're like,
I know, right?
yeah.
You walk into their room and it's just...
And then everything, it's almost like they have everything. I'm like, oh, my kota ko nefi. But yeah.
The microwave,
Na blender. No.
You know those stoves that had not the one with the rings?
Yeah.
It was just smooth couch.
Smooth ones.
I remember seeing that and I was like...
You
go back home and you're like, I
Yeah, you're like, what's happening?
There.
Like, what did you not do? Now
It's not
you wonder what
balancing.
your parents did wrong, eh?
I know, right?
Like, yeah,
Ugh.
your age mates here, they're doing things, and here you are.
So university, you left secondary. Now you go to university. You come across entirely new set of people. So now you're no longer in that space where you need to impress people. So now you're in university. And you're like, okay, I can find myself here.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, I think if you go back to the book, there's I think where I talk about how I actually started to love myself and just to accept myself, embrace myself. I walked in the bathroom and I like randomly, like
You
I just
looked in the
mirror.
Yes.
And you know, up to date, mirrors are my favorite things. Because when the world is
Not so much
consuming
mine,
me,
but yeah, okay.
when the world is consuming me and I forget who I am, I just go in front of a mirror. I'm like, girl.
You
But,
are the moment.
Yeah. So then I like randomly saw myself in the mirror. I'm like, wait, what? That's me? And in that very moment, I was like, you know what? I think everything has happened. I have gone through these things. I've been a village girl, and I embrace it now. I'm like, call me village girl all day, every day. I'm cool. And I think, okay, so what? You know, I have people, friends whose parents are doing these things that I think are great. So what? My parents divorced when I was younger. I had to now learn the world by force, by fire, by force, and forced to
Yes,
grow.
yes.
So what?
Yes.
So in that very moment, I think when I was in grade 12, I was just like, I think all of these things have happened, but I need to change things, and now I need to see the world how I want to see it and what I want out of it.
Yes.
So when I was going to the university, it was a time when I was like, I had already like gone full force into who I am,
Yes.
and when I got to the university, I was just doing things.
So that's where.
So
you
even when
say-
I went to the university, the pressure of wanting to like go and chill, I didn't have. We not. Guy, bye. Yeah, bye.
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
You'll
You'll
find
find
me,
me. Yeah.
So would you say that's where you built your confidence from? That's where it came.
That's where it came from, but also university really did play a very huge role. A specific lecturer, even now, he's like my favorite, Mr.
Oh.
Chekwe. You know,
Shout out
he...
Mr. Chileko.
Yeah, Mr. Chekwe. Yeah,
Oh, Mr.
shout out.
Chekwe.
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 Yeah, Derek Chekwe. Even now, he calls me daughter. Like,
Oh.
you know, he
I love
gave
it when you
us...
have that bond with the teachers. Yes. I
gave
remember
us-
Miss Muindo. I don't even know if she's alive, but she was my favorite teacher.
Yeah. He gave us this presentation, and you know, the vice chancellor, everybody was there, and you know, I just like stood there and I spoke, and he point blank told me, he was like, you know what, this thing, you standing in front of people and talk and speak, it's your thing, you better just grab it,
Go with it.
and I was just like, oh, okay, fine, cool.
Okay. So, did you?
I mean, I'm doing TV. I'm an author. I'm a journalist, so I guess I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So self-acceptance. Accepting all your individual attributes, because you know how hard it is for me and we're melanated, we're beautiful dark skin girls. I have to.
Right. Yeah. Put the
But
beauty
we were made to feel not pretty in our skin because
everyone has to be
look a certain
way,
and
have a certain skin tone.
skin tone, yes.
Yeah. And I have never been one to like not love my skin tone. The thing I suffered most, the thing I suffered most from is, you know, knuckles. I naturally have dark knuckles. Like they're so dark. Yeah. Yeah. So then I had moments when I'm like, why are my knuckles dark? Like if I take a picture, I'll be like, guys, in Subaine. But then what's going on?
Oh, you're taking pictures.
Yeah, like I'm taking pictures and I'm like, so it took a long time. I think even 2020, I was still,
Really? Still hiding your knuckles?
yes. Like when I started YouTube, you will find a whole episode of me talking about the insecurities, and I did point out to say my knuckles. Like I was so insecure. Now I'm just like, hi, I can even do yellow nails now. I don't care.
I was actually looking. I was like, yellow
Yeah.
is one color. You will never catch me dead in yellow.
Serious.
Because I was just like, I'm too dark to pull off yellow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With the narrative, I was like, if I want to really forget about the knuckles, I would do yellow and all the bright colors. And just like, so I did suffer from insecurities, and my knuckles have been. So if you talk about my skin tone, people have always, maybe because I've met people, a lot of people who look at me and like, you have such a beautiful skin.
I know.
Don't do anything to it. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so
yeah, I would get that as well, but then I wouldn't believe them.
Oh.
So for me, self-acceptance came a little bit later in life because I remember having most of my friends are. I think I'm the darkest one. Yeah, black friends who are light skin and Indians and mixed race. So I remember one guy pointed up to me. He says,
"It's so dark."
No. No.
Okay. Thank God he didn't say it.
I know,
like that.
Right? He will not be alive today. What he said to me, he says, "Don't you feel a little different?" I think he meant to say insecure. I think that's exactly what he was saying. He's like, "Don't you feel insecure because all your friends,
are light skinned.
Out of all your friends, you're the darkest one. So how does that make you feel?" Back then I was just like, it doesn't make me feel any kind of way because I didn't see that. But for him to point out, I was like, so this is what people see when they look at us.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, the dark one. So for me, I think that started to now like it started to get into me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my friend Nomsa would be like, oh no, but Sam, your skin is, it's. I'm like, you're allowed to say that because you're my friend.
No, it's really beautiful.
Because you're my friend.
Yeah.
So you should.
So it meant nothing, yeah.
It meant nothing to me. I was just like, okay, well.
It's one of those things, yeah. But
so self-acceptance came a little bit later. So when you say in the book, you accept yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you are the moment. You are beautiful. You embrace yourself. So for other girls out there who are having such a hard time embracing themselves, that self-acceptance, what would you say to them?
And this is why I'm so big and keen on people loving themselves, because your true power is only in you. Like when it's another thing to want to be somebody else, and you say I want to be Sam, but maybe Sam cries every morning before she steps out of the house. You don't know what. I'm like, hi. So and I think the moment I got to a point where I'm like, I am who I am. I have all these things. I've gone through all these things. I have dark knuckles. Hello, but I am short, as people may point it sometimes.
Really? I didn't even notice that about you.
Oh, there's one who feels the need to say it every time.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, known fact. What's next?
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's
then,
a known fact,
honey, like, what are we talking about? Something new? Can we talk about how to make dollars?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So then I think because there are things that I have done now that are only stemmed from a place of knowing what I am capable of and what drives me, my purpose. And I think we often talk about finding your purpose, discovering who you are and whatever. And the question might be like, how do you do that? I think for me, purpose is more about the impacts that you make, what you do, the impact of what you do on people. That's your purpose. Because there are certain things like, how I said you're so warmly, like you're so nice, lovely and whatever. So you are the type that would make like we are sad but Sam is here, like you know what I'm talking about. So I think when you accept yourself, there's power, because then you even know the things that you should just overlook and just like don't deserve my energy, not my time. Like if somebody thinks you're competing with them, like I'm a lady on my mission, honey, you think I'll compete with you? No. Not here, not now, not ever. So
I love that.
So yeah.
So what are the benefits of embracing yourself?
Well, firstly, you become very confident, and when I talk about confidence, I'll give you a very I have such scenarios in my life, but you know how I got the job at
No.
The TV job?
No. I would love to hear.
Okay, let me just say I have had moments when I've just simply walked into offices for certain things, and I'm just like, you know what? My name is Lillian. I do so and so, and I think there's a gap here and so and so, and I can fit in, and I can do this. This is what I bring to the table. You can try me. I'm even often very open to like for free things. As long as I know at the end of the day, I'm like, this is going to make some coins.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, let me show you. Because I know my capabilities, but I need to prove them to you. So let me show you. So when you're confident person, it's very difficult to. It happens, but it's hard to get to a point where you doubt yourself. So when you kind of get into your person, you become very daring and brave in a very good way. Because we all need to be daring.
Yeah. Confidence.
Yeah.
So confidence. I know you also said forgiveness. Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself
For those moments when you spoke badly to yourself.
badly
which
to
we
yourself.
always tend to do.
Yeah, we do.
We do tend to do that.
For the times that you compared yourself to other people, like I'm so sorry.
Yes.
You deserve better. And I give you that. I'm so sorry.
Oh. So confidence, forgive yourself, self-acceptance. Just
accept
who
it.
you are, embrace it, because you have unique gifts.
You do.
and you're bringing something different. So okay.
The world would be so boring if we were all equal.
If we're all the same as well. So that's the power of self-embrace. That's the first book.
That's actually the second.
The second. Now the first one.
Ooh.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
First, can we just
Yeah,
cheers before
yeah.
we start?
Ooh.
By the way, we'd like to thank our Revive for
Oh, okay.
these refreshing drinks. I'm having a caramel latte. She's having a coffee. So if you're looking for somewhere to come enjoy your coffee or your smoothies, a meal, Revive's a place to be. Oh, I had to take a deep breath because after reading this, I then got on the phone to my aunt and I was like, because she's a child of divorce. So I started to type the message, then I was like, okay. I started to type it again, then I deleted it. I was like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. I need to.
Calm down.
Yes. So you are 9 years old?
About 9 going to 10.
9 to 10?
Yeah.
And your parents are going through, you said you start to notice a difference in the way your parents relate to each other. How does that affect you as a child? You are 9, 10.
I'm 9, 10, and at the time, a lot of people think I'm the firstborn, but that technically no. Yes, I know.
Technically,
Yes or no? I did have an older sister, but she passed. So at this point, I'm like,
you are like, yes, you're the next.
yeah. So and I start to notice, and I used to be a daddy's girl. Now I look back, I'm like, I think what doesn't kere, guys, sports. That sports.
Yes.
So it all worked out for the good of life, I think. But I noticed, and I'm like, and certain things, even now, when I remember, then I'm like, oh, so that's what was happening. Like, I was too young to interpret certain things, but I definitely did see them. So it kind
And
of
it's
just
amazing
like,
how kids just notice these things. They pick up on these things.
Yeah.
And they say children are resilient. So would you say you were in that point?
yeah, I think I was, but because I saw a lot, it kind of affected how I see people, especially men.
Okay, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
We will come to that because I need to get I need to get more information on that. So you have 3 siblings. Your father is not home for days, no food at home. How does this affect them?
They're young, and mom did really a good job covering it up. Like, she would
As they
be the one,
always-
she would be like, oh, I shouldn't feed and Sarah, but then the food is just not enough.
Yes.
So she would be like, multiple times she'd be like, puffy eyes and whatever. Now I look back, I'm like, that woman was crying to sleep. Yeah,
She's
so
going through a lot.
she was. Yeah. God has been great.
And your siblings are
I
good.
think-
They are
Yeah,
in a better.
and yeah,
place.
because in a better place. My immediate younger sister is in university.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
doing degree business administration, and my other one just read her grade 12. The other one is going into grade 11. My brother next year. Yeah.
So you and your siblings, you go through this time where your father leaves you. Would he come back some days?
Because he used to
On the
work
days
for
when
Tazama.
Uh-huh.
So the situation for you cannot miss work for 10 days consistently. So when it's like day 8, he would come back and we would see him like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then he would go. Eventually, he even ended up losing his job.
Oh.
Yeah, but then he went, and I think since when he left, he left.
And he just
He just left. Because I think my brother is now 17. I think he last saw him when he was 4.
And And he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. And because, talking about forgiveness, I got to a point where I had a very emotional moment with my uncle, who's a pastor. My uncle, shout out to Uncle Donald, who's my father for life. And, he told me, like, you're so bitter, like, you need to let it out. And I had this moment where I was just like, and he was like, no matter what, that's your father. Like, he brought you here. You need to let go of certain things.
Was that hard for you to hear?
It was.
Yeah.
It was, because I was like, my father, I think when growing up, I even loved my father more than my mother. Because my mother would beat me.
I mean, come on.
She would beat
Somebody
me.
had to be the disciplinarian.
So I'm like, this one does not like me at all. And my father would be like, if my mom beats me, he'd be like, why are you beating my child? I'm like, save me.
Mom would do this. She would shout. I'm like, do you even love us? What is wrong?
Like, did we fight in your sleep, woman? What's going on? So I then to change all of that and to like be with my mother, who for the longest time I believe did not like me.
She's just trying to do what's best for you.
No, now I look back, I'm like, you woman, thank you.
Yes. So did seeing other children with your fathers make you angry?
I think not so much. The only time it hit was when my brother was, when they're learning to speak. And then he asked Mom why every other child had like a father, and we did not. I don't even know how my mother answered that question, but I remember how my brother asked it. And in that very moment, I was like, yeah,
and
so...
He's a young boy.
He's a young
boy.
boy.
His dad, and it's like,
but I mean,
our dad?
where's our dad? Like, everybody's calling their father, and where's ours in this house?
Did you ask him, now he's older, did you ask him how that affected him?
I think deeply my brother has, because of everything, I think we try to not force him to speak about it, but he's a very reserved person. You only conversate with him when you ask questions. If you do not ask questions,
so he won't
conversate. He was not the type, even if you're watching a movie, he won't be like, no, quiet. That's still waters.
But isn't that like a bit...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But we're kind of working on it, but yeah.
In his time, when he's ready.
Yeah, when he's ready. And I think it's just, it's a good thing that my mom actually accepted it, because I kept on like, this boy, like he needs this.
Yes.
Yeah. So when she finally accepted it and she said, okay, let's deal with it, then yeah.
So I read also where you said your father would come and you guys were struggling at home. Your mom would make a cake out of milli meal.
We used to go to Chikondamoyo.
So she would make that cake, and then you guys would go to your father. He would come and take you guys, and he would take you to the farm, and he would show you,
Yeah,
I'm doing well.
Because my father, apparently the George Mpombo, was he the Minister of Home Affairs or Foreign Affairs, whatever, in the MMD? So George Mpombo married my father's cousin. So my father and him would be like tight. So the finer things of life is all he knew. So he once took us to George Mpombo's farm. And I was just like, these are things that you see every day.
And you are living it?
You're living it? Yeah. Like he would take us, I think the first few years of their divorce, he would come maybe once a year and take us, and he would take us to the most expensive places in Ndola. And he would like eat what you want. But then when you say school fees naipwa, nimpa saine, ngakupera pa Friday. I'm still waiting for that Friday.
Oh, that Friday still?
Yeah, it still hasn't come. It will come. It will find us.
And you wrote those exams anyway.
I wrote them. Regardless. And every time I passed, I was like, you know what? I've passed here and whatever. And he would just be like, Friday, and that's it. Friday, and that's it. Yeah. So up until now.
Sometimes, because like you said in your book, you guys were sleeping in a house where it's sometimes no electricity. You're just barely making it. And your father wouldn't come and try and check on you guys?
No.
Like, okay, how are my children?
No.
Have they eaten?
No. Even now, I don't think he's ever picked a my phone and say, like, how are you? Like, how are you? Okay, now, like somewhere 2020, like now the Lillian is like, Lillian is now, she's now doing things and trying. Then we're like, Shan mwana wanzi. And at the time, because my uncle was like, you know what, let it go.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, you know,
Have a conversation.
a conversation, and that's it.
So what's the relationship now? Like,
It's just there.
it's cordial.
Cordial, yeah. He's my father, I know that for a fact. I have his name, which I proudly carry.
As you should.
Yeah. And that's it, honestly. It's like, I haven't spoken with him in like whatever. And I pick up the phone and I'm like, how are you? Are you doing okay? Shani? Yeah.
And with your siblings, what's the relationship?
My
like?
immediate, the one who's in university, they also like once in a blue moon. But for the younger ones, because my sister who just wrote grade 12, this is when she's getting a phone. At home, we are so serious with no phones while in school. I don't even joke about it because I'm like the mother. No. I'm like, the mother, what are you doing with a phone? If you need to school things, mom has a phone, put her number in WhatsApp groups and whatever. Don't have a phone. So I think that's why, like, so yeah. But I once asked my brother if he, like I had a conversation with my brother, because I felt like my brother, him being a guy, out of all the women, the ladies, he maybe might have needed a father figure more.
Yes.
And he did have, because we have like a very amazing stepdad. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But then, you know, he had for the longest, like the years of his being a baby, he didn't have a father. So I felt like he had like the most impact. And I asked him, like, do you want to see him? Like, I can take you if you want. And he said no. He just said no. Do you think about him? He said, once in a while. Do you want to see him? I feel like you should see him. He said, for what?
Not interested in cultivating it.
Yeah, so he said no.
Like you said, when he's ready.
When he's ready,
He will. Maybe when he's ready, or it may happen, it may never happen.
It may never happen. And my mom has always been, you know what happened between your father and myself happened, but you also have to make your own decisions.
Yes.
Do you want to have a relationship with him or not?
Yes.
That's all on you. So when he's ready and when he feels like he can face him and have a conversation. And you know, the world is so weird, eh? My brother looks like photocopy at you. This is your father. Come out. Exactly.
Looks just like him.
Just like him.
And that's the craziest thing. You have the most volatile relationship with that person, and you look
Just like them. Yeah. It's like, okay, so you want to remind me of... Yeah.
Jeez. You're a child of divorce. This is how it affected you. Now you said it kind of now skewed your view of men. I want to get into that.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at men like, are you all the same?
Yeah.
You will not show up for your family.
Like, you will not protect me?
Yeah, you won't protect me.
Yeah.
Why should I now just put myself in this position of getting married and having children? Why? So how has it changed? Are you like, is this something that you're gonna carry, or?
No, I think it's changing. It's a battle.
Changing.
It's like an everyday battle.
Like, because of somebody in your life. The head scratch just is telling. It gives you away. Oh, that gives you away too.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Yeah. You've taken a sip. Answer the
This is
question.
nice.
No, it is. I mean, it's revival.
Yes, yeah.
Do tell us.
What's the question again?
You heard what the question was, ma'am.
Well, I think let's just say I have had encounters with a man that...
A man.
Yeah, that kind of just changes. Like, you know, it's like, okay, fine. Like, they're all not the same after all. Oh, wow, Sam.
Isn't life wonderful?
It's wonderful.
Where you think, hi, Nishaka,
And then all of a sudden,
and he comes and says, baby, how are you?
Mafioco.
He's like,
Hey,
"Hi."
gorgeous.
I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
like, oh, really?
It is you,
Yeah.
Lily Pearl.
You know, somebody asked me at work, like, Lillian, why do you not like men? And I'm just like, what? How did you know that?
Can I be honest? I also just did not. Mine's a different thing.
Yeah?
It's a whole different, because but then fiancé,
So I'm not the only one.
here we are.
Here we are, yeah.
Here we are. So I didn't want to say that. Okay, there's other things that affected you in divorce, but this is the thing that really just got to me. Like, okay, so how is she going to navigate her way through life, going through this at a young age? She's seen her father act out. Do you think, God forbid, I'm just saying, if you find yourself in a situation like this, how are you going to?
And that I think that's my greatest fear in life. Getting married wrong.
Getting married wrong.
Yeah, like the whole marriage concept. I think for me, how I see marriage is like it's a covenant.
Yes.
First to be with God, you and the man.
Yes.
So now I feel like people just don't respect. We have roles to play here. Okay, can we respect what we are both supposed to do? And I think that's what people don't want to do. Women don't want to respect a man's authority. Men don't want to love as Christ loves the church. So yeah, but I feel like God forbid it will never happen. Let me not even answer if I get to there, it will never happen. But I think when people get to a point where it's like divorce and children are involved, just protect the child. And that's exactly what I talk about in the book. I know people fall out, like the love is no longer there. Don't stay because they're children, but just make sure you protect these children. And by protecting them, you don't say things about their father or their mother. Just leave everything, like, harbor it in your heart.
Yes.
And just let children be children.
Yes. Oh, that is.
It deserves a sip.
Because you have so many instances where people who are no longer together, they will speak ill of their partner. Like, we saw shani. Then you turn your children against them, and then that's just. I feel like that just poisons them, and then they grow up angry. So it's just like that's solid advice. Just deal with your issues away from the kids.
Away from them.
Would you advise parents out there to allow their children to ask questions? Because children are like, okay, but when is daddy coming?
When is daddy coming? I always talk about how we now. I'm about to say parents of not. Okay. But yeah, like having a conversation, like build a relationship to a point where a child should be free to ask questions that are important. If you can't answer them, tell them, when you're at the right age, I will answer these questions. But for now, find a way of explaining the situation so that they don't now start asking questions. Because if you don't provide answers, they will ask answers from the wrong people, and they will get them answers. So
yes,
I think Zambian parents should really just.
Oh, Zambian parents. Parents.
Let's be friends. Yeah.
No, but I understand what you're saying, because we've grown up in the setting where we're just like, don't ask.
Don't certain conversations. Don't even have them. Yeah, like
we're never gonna talk about this. It's done.
That's it.
So, yeah, your book. Yeah, the effects of divorce and oh my goodness.
And it took a lot for me to get to a place where I'm like...
What did your parents say?
About the book?
Yes!
Well, my mom kind of felt like a way about it.
I would imagine. I would imagine, because it was not an easy read. And I'm reading as an outsider, and I'm just like, oh my God.
And I had written it like years before.
I
had written it years before. But I was not ready to let people in on my thoughts and my life and whatever. And then on a random day, somebody bumps into it and I'm like, why is it here? Can we put it up there? And I'm like, so I call my uncle. Because my uncle is like my best friend of all times. Even I had I'm like, so, and I tell him, I'm like, there's a book. This is this, then he says, you know what? Go for it.
Do it.
So my mom kind of like, but I think as I grow older, my mother becomes like my best friend. So
Yes.
that's it. I don't know how Dad felt about it, but he did call to say, "Oh, I've seen your book. I've read it."
And
I said, "Oh, you read it? Okay." Then he said, "Yeah." And I was hoping for a conversation that kind of maybe just him acknowledging
would heal as well. Would be like a healing step, maybe.
I don't know. But I was just hoping for him to acknowledge and just get to a point where he validates my emotions and how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But
where he says, "I'm sorry" as well, maybe.
No, such conversation has never happened yet. So they've both seen it. And it is what it is.
Well, you're alive, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
Did
And
it
it's
kill
still
you?
out there. It's still
And
selling.
it's still out
so.
there, still selling. No, they're like, "Oh, no, when it
But I think really I was even considerate because there were a bunch of things that I was like, "Oh no, like this is too
it's too much."
Yeah,
Yes.
like,
But you were just like, "Let me just put everything out there."
yeah,
And
the things that I felt needed pointing out. And
Yeah.
I did talk about it.
oh. Let me just.
But I
comment
think
on
in
that.
my memoir, I shall be deeper.
Lily Pearl.
No, like no, I look forward
I love
to
a deep
the
read.
time when I write my memoir. Yeah, I have so many stories to tell.
Still waters run deep. Wamfuna kwa motoka. Imwe. Type. Still girls. This one. When you meet her, you're like, "Oh, she's
Lillian, you watch today, Sam. Lillian, like
I have to say, it was very brave of you to. I don't want to say brave. It was very, or maybe brave, I guess. Like you were just open about it. You wrote about this because not everybody can come forward and tell their story as it is, raw.
And funny thing is that I got a lot of messages, emails, because I always put my email, my contact details behind my. And people were just like, "How are we able to relate to all of this?" It's something I've never talked about, and I thought like, because when the publishing and distribution situation in Zambia is not so good. You have to do like everything yourself.
Yeah.
So then the thing is that I didn't even have a book launch for my first book because that's how scared I was to even like have a conversation about it. Because I was like, if I do a book launch for this book, like questions will be asked, speeches will need to be given.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm not ready. But then the moment I just posted on Facebook, I got a phone call from Paul Shalala ZMBC wanting to do interviews and whatever. And I was like, the books, like the first batch was like about above 100.
Wow.
And the first like in a month. Yeah. I was just like,
You see?
no, but I'm not rich. But they can conquer. Yo, I'm a journalist. I know what I'm talking about.
Well. Well. Yeah, I want. Wait.
Life and living.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Amazing story. Amazing story. Amazing how you're still able to just say, you know what, I will not be defined by my circumstances. I'm just going to rise above them and keep pushing forward. Not many people are privileged to. So many people have been in a situation and they just feel like the world is against them.
Yeah.
And they keep getting beat down because of their own thoughts and because they're like, in a
Fini.
but you rose above that and you're doing amazing things, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you haven't got the book yet, check it out. The Power of Self-Embrace and The Effects of Divorce on Children. You need to read these two books. They are, oh goodness, I had to take a break after, especially the first one, The Effects of Divorce on Children. It was,
because I feel like that's where you find Lillian actually.
yes, Lillian, like in your full, because I feel like as well, because The Power of Self-Embrace, yes, we got that, we got a little bit of you, but the first one is now. We know who Lillian is, we know what she's gone through, and now here she is. This is Lillian.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, there was a let me just say it. there was a guy who was like pestering me, pursuing and whatever. And I said,
Pursuing hard?
yeah. And I said, you know what? You think I'm perfect? I'll give you one task. Just go read my books. If you still think you want to deal with me, cool. Yeah, because I mean, there's certain. I feel like there's a way I see things because of who I am. And I think, what better way to tell you who I am if not my books? Like, just read.
And
Sam.
he ran. He ran screaming for the hills, did he? Oh, he was not ready for you.
Yeah.
He was not ready.
Well,
And that's okay. Bye-bye.
bye.
It's okay.
Next.
We have the other one that says, hi, good.
Mm?
How are you doing? I'll take care of you.
Yeah, like I see you.
I see you.
Oh,
You! You
Being-
with your dark
being
knuckles.
seen
I love it.
is like,
It's the best, isn't it?
yo. I
When
mean,
you're
money
seen
is
and
nice,
when you're in
but
a safe
see
space,
me.
You're like, money is nice.
Money is nice, but see me. And you know, not the scene for I've seen your suit. It's pretty, but see me. You
Me,
know?
inside me,
Inside me.
See
Yeah,
me.
the me that people don't know, they don't see that.
Ooh, let's see. People see. Okay, let me see how I want to be seen. When I get home, take off my wig,
Yeah.
take off my makeup, and then I'm like, Nene.
Yeah, Nene. And they still see you.
And we still
Like I see you and I want you.
Ah! Ha! Lily Pearl.
Sam.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
for coming through.
It's
Like I
been a
said-
good conversation.
I know, right?
And I like that you're doing this, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, please. We need
more.
I mean, we need
last
more.
one is last
Yeah.
question. Who would you kiss, marry, or kill?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna ask you quickly.
Between
Kiss, marry, kill.
uh-huh.
Slap D, Jay-Z. Slap D, Jay-Z.
I was hoping for better options, but
Oh, those are good options. Excuse you. And well, what's his name again? The guy who did the. It's not cheating if it doesn't.
what's his name? What's that guy's name? Eh?
What does that say about us? Don't take it personally.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to.
I'm trying to remember, but
yeah. Okay, wait. Let's just Slap D, Jay-Z, or let's say J Cash.
So we're doing what?
Kiss, marry, kill.
Kill Jay-Z because no.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
killing Jay-Z because
Because no.
no, my friends would laugh at me. I have useless friends like Maureen. They're just like, oh, so as long as you're happy,
Jay-Z-
show me.
No, Jay-Z has, he has a certain charisma about him.
Really?
Yeah. You don't see it?
Looks too much, though.
Yeah.
I'm marrying Slap D.
Oh, you're married Slap D?
Yeah.
King Diesel.
King Diesel. A king, like a whole queen deserves a king.
Ah,
so,
of course.
Yeah. And then I'm picking J Cash. That's
Oh,
like,
okay, you guys kiss me.
yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Nice. Wedding bells with Slap D.
We're done. This has been amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Leaving with a little positivity. You never know what people are going through. Always be kind and always be compassionate. I appreciate you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.